Alright, we're up here. We are we are live now.
We are live.
I think so. Let
Ooh,
me like quadruple checkage over here.
I like it. I like it.
Because if not, that would suck.
It's like if we went through everything and then we're not. Yeah, that's true. How positive are you?
100% because I see it on YouTube.
Sweet. What's up, world?
Oh, that was great. You ready to get started, my guy?
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
Cool.
This thing. I got my podcast hat on. For those that tune in, since I was a raft guide a few years ago, podcast is the only time I get to wear this wicked hat anymore. Oh, it's my podcast hat.
One could call it the Pat.
One
Uh,
could. I don't know if one should.
sorry. Sorry, that was my
Questionable? Yes.
that was my dad joke for the day.
Ooh.
Even though I've probably
Brandon
already used it somewhere, somehow, some form, but it'll.
Brandon was on the receiving end, not reciprocating end
I
of
was
my pun slash dad joke earlier
true,
about
true,
the table.
dude. That table. Do you see it though? It's awesome.
It does look sick.
It's awesome because it can like raise up,
Yes.
and then we got a thing there. But
My sister used to have one that did something similar. It wasn't as modern as this one.
it took a while to build. It was annoying,
I bet.
but the fact that I had it built before Amy got home, happy wife.
Yep.
Tell you that right now. But anyway, hello everybody, and welcome to our season 2, episode 2 recording of the Slams Fist Fact podcast. Rick, how are you today, sir?
I'm not feeling very well, to be honest, but we have powered through today and on to the fun part. So we're here. How about you, my
True.
man?
I'm great. Had a good day at work. Got to physically prep for this, which was exciting. We don't get to prep together on this much, and we got to do it today, which was perfect and ideal
It
going
is.
forward. First things first, like we start out every single podcast, and it will never change, is what are you drinking?
So to really get full throttle into this podcast, I feel like we needed some Mountain Dew, but not just any Mountain Dew. We had to go Code Red on
Ooh.
them.
I am also drinking a red drink, actually, which is hilarious. I so a backstory on this drink before I just say yes, I bought this is we did a Walmart grocery order, and Walmart accidentally put this with our grocery order. So I got an 8 pack. Amy and I got an 8 pack of the Logan Paul Prime
Mm.
drinks, and they're really freaking good. Like it has a similar taste to Gatorade. Like, so this is tropical punch, right? It has a similar taste to Gatorade, but like definitely more fruity, but it's also like way better for you than Gatorade. You know what I'm saying? Like, not as many sugars and sodium and all that other crap that's in all of there. And I'm also drinking beer. That's the better one of the two. Is I'm also
Yeah.
drinking some Mickey Ultras. I thought I had more than three. I only have three. I've already fully drank one. I'm on my second one. After I drink that one, there's some Jack Daniels fruit drinks of Amy's in the fridge that are going down, and then I'll switch to just regular Jack Daniels after that.
Yeah.
So
We're going all night.
we are, we are, we are. Um, so to get this started, last week after our live recording, we posted some polls for all you listeners out there on Instagram. Three different polls. One to get rid of something, one to add something, and then figure out what the hell we're gonna call all of you. Finally, after after 17 episodes. Well, this is 17. So we were voting to get rid of either the birthday segment
Sir,
or yeah,
this is episode
17.
18.
This is 17.
This is 18.
17.
You want to bet?
Nope. Because
Any listeners that have tuned in for all 18 episodes, please make sure to correct Brandon in the comments. It's one
look,
of my favorite
I
things.
even I even have it titled as episode 17, but it'll be okay. If it's 18, whatever. Great. Even better. So, we voted to get rid of either birthdays or this week's in histories. 86% of you decided that birthdays were no longer fun and interesting, and 14% of you thought that this week's in history we're getting rid of, so we're getting rid of birthdays. So listen to the majority. I saw you who voted for this week's in histories, which are my favorite segment. So just know you will not be getting any birthday presents this year. What to add? We had three different sections. One was crazy sports stats. One was the hot takes that we're going to talk about of current events, or just if you have a really good hot take in general, we'll talk about it. And then we also said to DM us if you had any other ideas. Nobody DM'd. 93% of the people voted that they wanted to hear a hot take of the week. 7% voted for crazy sports stats. So sorry for all you sports stats people out there. No crazy sports stats, but we also have a sports section anyway, so maybe we'll probably throw some stats in there. Third thing, the most important, is what are we going to call you? We had send us a DM if you had an idea. We had two people send a DM for a name called the Fact Checkers. Fact Checkers. Both of them had the same idea, but sadly, that was 2 votes were not enough for that. One solo person out there voted for the Fisters, and I'm
I
very
don't think they were
glad.
really alone. I think they had all of our spirit with them. They just couldn't get the real vote.
We could not call Fisters, so lo and behold, from now on, all of you are referred to now as the Slammers. It makes sense. Slam Fist Fact, the Slammers. Slamming beer, slamming life, doesn't matter. We're slamming.
We're gonna
So,
have to get you a new hat that's Alabama instead of Mississippi, so you can be the
the
Alabama
Alabama
Slam.
Slammer instead of the Mississippi Hammer. But it will be okay. So from now on, we are the slam. We are. You are the slammers, not the fisters. Tino, you voted out there. If you want to be the fister, you can, but you're also a slammer at the same time. But without further ado, Richard,
Sir,
let's go to this week's in history.
hey, you want me to kick it off?
Sure, start it.
Okay. So this week in history, in 1785, University of Georgia became the first U.S. state chartered university. Now, like myself, you may have heard a lot of different things about this university in the United States, the oldest public university, the oldest this. Let me try to help settle a couple things for you. Georgia was the first one get its charter as a state university in the U.S. University of North Carolina, first public and state chartered school to hold classes. William and Mary is the oldest state chartered public school. For almost 200 years, it was considered a private institution. Our fact is correct that University of Georgia was the first university to get its state charter in the United States.
All of that does not matter because the best university is the University of South Carolina. Go Gamecocks.
Are they even the best university in their state?
Oh, 100%. I mean, who you throwing up against them? College of Charleston, the Citadel, maybe the Citadel. I can see that one. They're very prestige. Coastal, the one from the Northwest that we don't talk about. Um, but they don't count. We don't even
I
claim
don't know if
them.
I don't know if Gamecocks want to play Coastal Carolina at baseball, bro. That's kind of a dangerous.
Oh, dude, we're better than them at baseball. We won back-to-back national championships.
They make a World Series run
Yeah, they
on
won
the
the
road.
world. They won the World Series probably 5, 6 years ago. Coastal did, and then the team that won the 2 years before that was South Carolina.
So you're saying they've won a more recent
No,
World Series?
no, I'm not saying that.
I think that's what you just spoke out loud. Anyways, moving on to Brandon's next point.
No, 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 no. I really, I think we've finished. No, we haven't won since we
Yeah, I
went
don't
back
think
to
you've won
back.
since then. You may have went deeper since then.
They won in 2016.
Okay, so it's
We
coming up on
went
7 years ago. Wow.
we went back to back in 2010, 2011.
So they have definitely won a more recent one.
I'd put a lot of money says we'd beat them in baseball right now if they played today.
Right now.
Right now, January 27th, we beat them.
At least South Carolina would be maybe semi warm.
I don't know, man.
60s.
Coastal's only like an hour and a half from me. It's pretty
Temperature
warm.
rating.
It was like
Temperature
six.
rating.
It was like 65 today.
Beautiful.
Oh
My high was 46.
nope. Screw that. All right. So my this week in history, I have four. Three of them go together. Actually, I have five. Three of them go together. Um, today, January 27th, in 1945, Soviet troops liberated Auschwitz and Birkenau. So that is huge. That's what, 70, 73 years ago? Long time. 1934. These are all these dates that I'm about to happen. This is why I found this so weird. Is it actually physically happened on this day as well? Like today on the 27th. It's not even this random week.
Yeah.
1934, Nazi and Poland sign a non-aggression agreement that they would not be aggressive to each other. And a mere 6 years later, Nazi Germany stopped letting Polish Jews ride on any trains inside of Germany. I think all of those, 6 years from going to signing a non-aggression agreement to, you know, World War II and slash the Holocaust is bad. But I just found it very interesting that all three of those things related to World War II and Nazi Germany happened today. And then and then and then
That's
I have,
pretty crazy, actually.
huh?
So that is pretty crazy,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, it all happened on January 27th within a 11-year span of each other, which is crazy. Then I have a sports one that in 1894, the first collegiate basketball game was played ever with the University of Chicago
Hmm.
beating the Chicago YMCA with the score of 19-11.
The YMCA. Yeah, but you got to remember the game was very different. The game was very
Oh,
different.
really? Just a little. But yeah, 19-11. That bothers me that that was the score. I'm mad that it wasn't closer, honestly. Why couldn't it be like 19-18? And do you have
Yeah.
any more? Or I will continue with my last one. That is also
Oh no,
sad.
I have two more.
Bring it, dog.
We can go 1-1-1.
Sure.
Okay. This week in history in 1880, Thomas Edison patents the electric incandescent light bulb.
I saw that one. Didn't write it down.
Oh, sorry, wasn't interesting enough for you.
I'm a Nikola Tesla fan over a Thomas Edison guy myself, so
That's fine. That's fine. Tesla didn't use the incandescent light bulb.
I know. Um, Today, all of my facts actually happened from today in history. I didn't even do
Several
it
of
this
mine
week.
did too, actually.
Um, 1825, Congress approved Native American territory, which is now in Oklahoma, which started the Trail of Tears today in 1825.
Hmm.
And your last one, sir.
Yeah. Now that you've gone all through your sad shit,
Yeah, my bad, guys. My fault.
Don't worry, y'all. I'm gonna keep it upbeat. No, I'm just kidding. Today in 2008, my tennis fans out there, or people that just follow so many sports, you understand that tennis is going on right now with the Australian Open. In 2008, Djokovic beats Joe Wilfred Songa 6, 6-4, 6-3, 7-6, which, paraphrase that if you're not really big into tennis, it was a very close match. It had to go down to a tiebreaker. Djokovic wins to become the first Serbian player ever to win a Grand Slam title. This Sunday, January 29th, 3, he plays in his 33rd Grand Slam match, trying to win his 22nd Grand Slam. 15 years ago, no Serbian had ever played in a Grand Slam. I'm sorry, never won a Grand Slam. Let me be very clear there. And he is trying to win his 22nd and will be competing in his 33rd match. So that's pretty awesome.
And to throw that out there, he is also the only Serbian that has probably won any of those.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone else has come along during
No,
his reign.
me
He
neither.
100%
And
carries the
well,
Serbian
I'm
national.
surprised. I'm surprised. You know, there's big scrutiny that he got to play this year. He didn't get to play in the Australian Open last year.
He could play in the U.S. Open, even though in 2021 he won it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of political things going on, but aside from all political stances, ideologies, or issues, he is a phenomenal tennis player.
I would have loved to see him and Federer. I know they played a lot against each other and both have won and both have lost in finals. I would have loved to see him play, 10 years earlier than when he started getting really good, just to see him and Federer both prime, just freaking duke it out, man. That, and then even though those two guys with plus Nadal, those three guys are undisputably the goats in the game. I'm a huge Andre Agassi fan myself. I love him. He was I bought when I first started shaving when I was 13. All right, forever, 35 years ago or whatever it was. Um, I literally bought a Schick razor as my first razor because of his commercials of shaving his head with a Schick razor.
There's a lot of really fun people to watch right now in tennis. It's a weird turning of the era with her finally retiring. A lot of people suspect Nadal might not be very far behind. Um, it is it's a weird thing, but you got some emerging stars. Andy Murray's been on and off the scene
Yeah, but he's gonna
as
retire soon too. He's old.
but he really brought back the last 10 or so years, which, yeah, he played at the top level for a decade or so. He was the first Englishman in a while to really be relevant. I mean, he's the first Englishman in forever to win Wimbledon.
Oh yeah.
And, huh?
I said, oh yes.
Yeah. And then you got like Kyrgios. You got a lot of really fun people to watch play right now, and some youngsters coming up as well that I didn't even know several of them. Not that I'm a huge tennis fanatic or anything like that, but I did
You
saw some
sound
new
like it.
names. Well, I saw some new names with the U.S. Open and now the Australian Open that I'm like, I have no idea who that is. Let me Google him real
The
quick, and then it's like they're 17.
the one girl that was so good, the young
Oh,
girl, is like
yeah,
not playing anymore because she's pregnant now. So she's not going to play for at least probably another year and a half, 2 years. And the
awesome.
past couple majors she's dropped out of because of like physical health reasons of like twisted ankle or whatnot. So hopefully she does. I think her last name's Okawa, maybe. She represented Japan in the Olympics. I know she's half American, half Japanese,
Hmm.
but she is like a rising star compared to like Serena and Venus and stuff. And like she's not going to play for 2 years. It's like hopefully she doesn't like decide just to not end her tennis career and do
Yeah.
whatever. Because I mean she's young. I don't know how young. Probably like definitely low 20s. But it's like who I've already made all this money. You've made all this money from signing deals and contracts and winning majors. Why not retire at 25? If I could have retired at 25, you think my ass would be working?
Yeah, I
No.
mean, and speaking of especially, I can't remember her name, so that really sucks right now because I'd love to do the story more justice. There was a young female player that actually got to play in a major open because of the expanding qualifications that happened over COVID.
Okay.
She never so if you would have rewinded 3 or 4 years ago, she never would have been able to play, and she actually made a deep run in a major open recently. I wish I could give her credit and remember her name, and I cannot, so I will try to find that. But yeah, moving on. That's at least we can go into your next piece.
It's our next piece. It's the new
Our next.
piece. It's the new piece.
Mm,
It is what everybody voted in the hot takes of the week.
yes.
I did not create one for myself. I took two from people that texted them to me. One I agree with. One I
Uh-huh.
think is just asinine. But
Mm.
one of our guests that were on here sent that one in, but I think he's wrong. So we'll see.
I can't
First
wait to hear it.
first hot take of the day is I made you look this up. I made you look at the 17th green at TPC Sawgrass. One of the most iconic holes in golf, especially of today. They only play in Sawgrass. TPC Sawgrass is in Florida. They play the Players Championship there. You have the 17th hole, par 3, 138 yards, island green. It's called the island green hole because each hole at a golf course gets a name. Like they name it something. Like all the Augusta holes are named after like different flowers and trees related to Georgia, stuff like that. This hole is literally just called Island Green. My brother sent this to me today. It's not an Island Green, and they should change their name. It is a peninsula.
I
There,
mean,
it
that's
is.
true.
It is. It is not a bridge to walk out there to the Island Green. It is physically more grass that narrows down into one pathway to walk to the green. So my hot take of the day is that TPC Sawgrass and all its notoriety and everything has to change the name of that hole because it is technically not an island green and it will piss 99.9% of everybody that's ever played golf off.
I just want to say that, I don't disagree that it's a peninsula. I just think that's a pretty weak hot take.
It is. I didn't make up any of these. That's why. That's
which
why.
which
That's
brother said
why
that
I
to
started with that, Ryan. That's why I started with this. That I didn't make up any of these. If your hot take is really good, I'm gonna go say my next one because I think this one's horrible.
it's not really good, but I'm interested to hear the next one.
All right, so a couple podcasts ago, that was just a YouTube exclusive with our buddy Gabe Fuller, who is a professional poker player in Florida now. Says jean shorts are better, cooler, and more comfortable than regular jeans. I wear jean shorts. I will.
Better,
I will read the.
cooler,
I will
or
read the
what?
text messages. I'll read the text message.
I want his 3 points here, so because
They
Gabe
might
Gabe
not
will
be
get into
three.
it. So
They might not be 3 points. All he says, wear jean shorts are better than normal blue jeans. I highly disagree.
yeah, I disagree hard. I'm
Like,
wearing jeans right now.
I wear jean shorts. The time a lot of times when I want to throw away long blue jean pants, I end up cutting them into shorts. I don't go out and specifically go to American Eagle and buy jean shorts. I never will. Never have. I think Gabe is objectively wrong.
Yeah,
Jeans
I
are
mean,
comfortable. I can wear jeans in the summer and be fine.
I can also wear jeans to sleep in if I really
Yeah,
wanted to.
I can sleep in them. I wear blue jeans every single day.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, I literally have them on right now. If I
Gabe,
stand up in front of the camera, that'd be awkward.
Gabe, you're wrong. That's all we have to say.
I
What's
can't say
yours? Please make it better than our two listeners that we had. Chime in.
that. Okay, to preface this a little bit and try and make sure we're on the same page here, Did you see Austin Rivers' recent radio show interview
No.
or any segments of it? Because see,
Nope.
this is where my hot take comes in, is against his hot take.
No.
They
I
have
haven't seen
sampled.
I haven't seen either, so I'm going in blind baby virgin.
Okay, so they have taken the sound bite out of and or the words specifically out of the interview where they asked him about Golden State Warriors and guarding Steph Curry, and his take was all about how the refs let Golden State get away with moving screens constantly, and that Steph Curry, while he is a really good shooter, would not put up the same numbers if the games were officiated early.
Okay.
My hot take on his hot take is that he's wrong. I say that the caveat is he's not wrong that there's moving screens. He's wrong in trying to say only Golden State gets away with them.
I I half agree. So I will come with the preface of, for everybody out there, I definitely do not watch enough NBA to have a sound. I only usually watch just the playoffs. And it's usually conference finals and finals, and that's it. I'm not watching a lot of basketball. I know a lot of basketball. I know a lot about it, but I don't watch that much of it. I will say I I agree with you saying that everybody utilizes moving screens. If the refs aren't going to call it, you're going to do it. Everybody does moving screens. I will say though that Golden State has figured out to how to take more advantage of it, if that makes sense. I'm not saying that they do it more often, but they just figured out. I think that they have figured out a way to, oh, if we do this moving screen, different plays open up, and I think other teams haven't thought of different plays that can open up because of the moving screens, if that makes sense. And also, I think they get away with calls because I hate them, and I think they complain to the refs, and the refs lean their way. So I half agree with you, and I half agree with Austin Rivers.
Hmm. Well, you're biased, first of all. Second of
How?
all, yeah, whatever. Mavs
How?
fan.
Huh?
Mavs fan. Western Conference.
We haven't
Biased.
been good enough to even be relevant against Golden State yet.
Exactly. Anyways, I genuinely think while a lot of the media, other players, and just the masses do respect Curry and how good he is at shooting because, like, I mean, the numbers are just so in your face that it's really hard to have a different opinion. That they are trying to find anything they can say to discredit the fact he or try to bring him back down touchable level because just just genuinely shooting over the course of his career has blown away any other shooter in the history of the
Oh, I
NBA.
mean, he's already the all-time three-point leader. I get that. He is a fantastic basketball player. He has great basketball mind, and he, like every good professional basketball player or just professional sports athlete in general, if they figure out a way to exploit something that the refs aren't going to call, they're going to take it to their advantage because it helps them. I get that. I understand that. I also think that, and I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but it's about Steph Curry. I think if you're college and younger, you absolutely adore Steph Curry. He's a huge fan to a lot of younger people. I think for older people that watch basketball, older people probably, a little bit out of college and above, it is now cool to hate Steph Curry, if that makes sense. It is. I feel like over the past 3 to 4 ish seasons, it has been a cool thing just to literally rag on Steph Curry because he just does astronomically amazing things and people don't like to see it. People like to see it, but they're like, oh, Steph just did it again. Go fucking figure. You know what I'm saying?
I think there's a lot of weird people's opinions at play there with how good and dominant Golden State was, the fact they brought KD in, KD leaves, Breeze plagued the team, and like it's so difficult because still want to say that Golden State could be the best team in the NBA on any given night simply because they have Curry, and then you add in the factor of Clay. Factor in young talent like Jordan Poole, and you're like, how can you say that if everyone's firing on full cylinders there that they can't outscore any other team?
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, they're a amazing dynasty. They've won 4 championships in 8 years, and they were in the finals besides those 4 years because they lost to LeBron when LeBron did the whole 3-1 thing. I would say the team, but LeBron did the whole 3-1 thing. Uh, but it's like you go, and I don't know if they've been to. Have they
and
lost any other?
Kyrie hit the shot.
Yeah, that's true. Did they go to any other finals besides that one and lose? I don't think so. So I mean, you've gone to 5 finals in 8 years, and you've won 4 of them. That's a pretty good basketball dynasty. For 8 years
Yeah,
is
no,
is
no,
a
no,
is
no.
a
Yes, they
long.
did. Yes, they did because I think they lost to Giannis.
He's Eastern
Well,
Conference, right? Bucks are
yeah,
Eastern.
but exactly. Who did the
No, I'm
Bucks
I'm
beat in
asking.
the
Bucks
championship?
are
Yes,
Eastern, yeah, because he beat the Celtics in the conference finals, yeah, and beat Golden State, right?
I think he beat Golden State. I think I could be wrong. I'm trying to remember. I'm not doing
Um,
great today, but I think they also went and Giannis won.
so they've been to 6 finals in 8 years. They played the Suns. They've been to 5 finals. It was the Suns.
Oh, that is right.
It was
That
the
is
Suns.
right.
But yes, no,
My
I agree.
brain's not
I
working.
half agree with his hot take. I half agree with yours. I probably agree with yours more.
I just his can't be true if everyone does it because his whole point was it was something no one else does and that's why Curry's so
I
good.
mean, I'm sure if you go on YouTube and just Google James Harden moving screens, like you'll see a 15-minute video on how he shoots and gets the ball at moving screens. Like it happens to everybody.
Well,
He's
well,
just
my big thing is every team NBA that's good at transition offense. So these dynamic teams, Grizzlies, the Kings with De'Aaron Fox because of how freakishly athletic he is. Um, the Celtics in some cases. All these teams that are good in transition, not every transition, but often enough, there are moving screens involved. Because if you look at what a moving screen is, it's you getting in their way while not having your feet set. So, like if you're running down the court and you impede the defender's path while still moving your feet, it's illegal screen.
right.
I mean, that's really what you're doing. You don't have to say an illegal screen is when you set a screen and then keep shuffling your feet. It doesn't have to be so obvious.
You're
So
barely
I
moving
just
one
think,
foot. It's an illegal screen. You have to
yeah.
be completely
But I'm
planted.
saying you can. But I'm saying you can hide it or disguise it as moving down the court, not looking like you're trying to set a screen,
Exactly.
but impeding their movement. And so I think it's just silly to say that, oh, well, that's why Curry's so good, is because Golden State gets away with it, unlike anyone else. And I'm like, that's just not true.
I
That'd be
agree.
like saying only Ja Morant carries the ball. Every NBA point guard carries the ball. You know why we let it happen? Because it's entertaining.
And it's
Because it shows us
fun.
cooler moves. Like
Listen,
that's why they don't bust their balls about it. As long
those
as they don't do
guys,
like this and
yeah,
then turn it back over, like everyone carries.
yeah, like it's fine. You're wrong, Austin Rivers.
Let me get off my soapbox, but that was my hot take.
You're wrong, Austin Rivers. Is all I got to say.
yes,
Come on the podcast and we can talk about it. It's fine. I understand.
please, please, Austin. I will hear you out if
Yeah.
you come on the
We'll
podcast.
we'll listen. We'll listen to your entire rant. Do not care. Um, cool. That's your only hot take, though, correct?
That was my only one.
Cool. They will get better as time goes on. Everyone. Sorry, I had to let you all listen to Gabe's about blue jeans. He's wrong. Um, so now to my favorite part because I got to make it this time is our top five
Mhm.
draft.
We
So
could add in a sound effect right there.
yeah, there it is. Um, so Rick, you will get to go first since I made up what the draft is consisted of. Since you don't have any prep and I have prep time for it, we're doing top five. We're doing what I'm calling the Michael draft. Anybody with the first name Mike or Michael is fair game. The only thing that I will say is not fair game is the painter in the Ninja Turtle, Michelangelo, because that is not Mike or Michael. Top
Hmm.
five best, awesome, most influential Michaels.
Hmm.
Number one overall pick, Rick.
Michael Jordan.
Wonderful. Great pick. He was also my number one. If you don't take Michael Jordan as the best Michael of all time, what are you even doing? I'm taking the King of Pop and Michael Jackson as my number one.
That was my alternate number one. I was trying to decide who I really wanted
Yeah,
there.
I mean, whichever one you got to think. Those are two top tier, both number one overalls. They're going 1-2. Either way, it's interchangeable. Just kind of depends on the direction that you want to take it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, oof, oof. Okay, this is a after the obvious
After
number
the
ones.
after the two obvious, I got a guy that could have potentially been number one as well as my second pick.
I agree. No, well, my thing is, I feel like everyone
Oh no no no
after
no
those
no!
two.
I'm telling you, after these two, I have a sleeper pick right now that I would not argue against being taken number one overall as well.
Okay, we shall see. We shall see.
Got it.
Um,
Remember, Mike is acceptable as well.
okay, okay. I feel like that's the sleeper in there somewhere. Is
Not the
that
sleeper.
is secretly in there? Ugh, ugh, ugh. Um, oh, Michael Scott, man. I know I
Ooh,
got a lot of Office
no,
fans in here
I
with
I
me.
love it. Great pick. He was on my board. He 100% was. Who I'm going for as who, if anybody takes this person's number one overall, I will argue against you, but I also respect your pick. Is I am taking America's Olympic boy and Michael Phelps.
Pick. Good pick. Yep. 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 Hmm. This is oh man, this is I'm sitting here like I'm trying to make sure I don't pass up any that are good, but
You're
it's
great.
I don't I'm getting nervous.
I
It's
I got
making me
I
doubt myself.
I got a list of my top 10 here. All right. I got my top 10. You took what was going to be my fifth pick. What I thought was going to be my sleeper was Michael Scott.
Hmm.
For everybody out there that listens on when we drop this and doesn't watch the YouTube video, Rick is struggling. Rick
Hey,
is
hey,
in, Rick
hey,
is in
hey,
Rick
hey.
is in deep thought over here.
I'm just trying to make sure I'm not passing up obviously good picks.
Rick's conscious is like, Rick, pick me.
um Mike Wachowski, Monsters Inc.
Ooh, good one. I didn't even have him on my board.
Oh, he's a monster. He's
Wasn't wasn't even
you
thinking.
just can't say enough about the guy.
No, I agree. I agree. Let's see. I have three picks left. The three that I want to go, I have four of three. I have four. I have three slots. I don't know which one I want to take out. I'm going to leave this one out for now, and I'm going to throw back to my time in high school and slash college when it was all the thing. And I'm taking a pick for the ladies, and I'm taking Michael Kors.
Okay. Okay. That's okay. That's okay.
I
I've
mean,
realized what. Oh, go ahead.
I think he's a real person. Don't know, but huge brand ambassador. Michael Kors, huge brand ambassador. He is sponsoring my entire team. We are gonna have Michael Kors
Oh, you're
jerseys.
gonna look fresh, huh?
We're gonna look good. We're gonna look good in our rose gold MK jerseys.
Dude, I can imagine. I can imagine like Michael Jackson rocking a Michael Kors suit.
Right? Right? Show up on game day with that. I'm ready to go.
Jackson, not Michael Jordan.
True.
Maybe both, but come on now. No, this is why I was struggling so hard before I picked my last mic. I was trying to make sure I wasn't kind of
Well,
flopping
you
over.
got two more picks. This
Oh,
is
I know.
four. All right.
Oh, I know. So here we are with Michael Clark Duncan, R.I.P.
Oh, oh, good one.
Fantastic actor, wonderful person. He comes in at four, and I feel like that's a steal, honestly, at four.
I agree. I like it. Um, so four for me. I I got some good people. I all solids, but I want some rowdiness. I want some stuff that I don't know what's going to happen day to day. Something random might happen, and this guy might bite somebody's ear off. So I'm taking Mike Tyson.
That is a great pick. Oh God, can't believe I didn't think about Tyson.
Oh, gotta. I have to. You got to throw some stuff in there that you just. I don't know
Oh
what I'm
man,
getting into day to day when I'm coming to the locker room. So who knows? All right, Rick. Last pick.
easy. Glad he got passed on, but here we had him in the back of my mind the whole time. I didn't want to take him too high. Mike Trout.
Great pick. Definitely not sorry to Aaron Judge on this at all, but Mike Trout is the face of baseball right now. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim have figured out a way to have the two best players in baseball, to have the two faces of baseball, and to still never make the fucking playoffs. Shout out to them for somehow fucking their careers up, but you love to see it and hate to see it at the same time. All right,
You truly do have some of the best, most individual talents in
you
the
have
whole Major League Baseball.
you have the face of just say solely American baseball and Mike Trout, and then you have the face of international baseball and Shohei Ohtani, who is hands down the league MVP. Because I don't know another person that can come in and throw 99 miles an hour and then throw a 76-mile-an-hour curveball, strike somebody out, and then hit a 500-foot home run the next fucking inning. No one. No one can do that. Last person who's been able to do shit like that was Babe Ruth when he pitched and played.
Just throwing against plumbers.
Exactly. Doesn't count. So now I'm torn. You didn't take either of the two that I thought, and a third one just popped into my head that if I want to draft this guy or not. I mean, this guy's an up and coming star, I would
Well,
say.
I'm happy to be off the board. I'm happy to have my team. I'm
I
happy with them. You have the struggle now to figure out who's going to fill your
I don't
roster.
so I have veterans, right? I have Michael
Mhm.
Kors been around, Michael Jackson, RIP's
Mhm.
been around, freaking Mike
I've been to that
Tyson
high stage.
is a veteran. They've been there. I need a guy. I'm taking this guy. I'm taking a guy that I feel like is going to be in the running for the next 20 plus years. He's already made a name for himself in two different movies. And I'm taking Michael B. Jordan as my fifth
Okay.
pick. As my fifth pick. I had to pass up on some veterans there, but I feel like I need a rookie presence to really round out my roster.
And maybe not even a rookie, but definitely a
Yeah,
younger, like,
he's a
not quite journeyman yet.
he's a young star coming off of his rookie contract. I'm ready to sign him to a long
Exactly.
term deal. Here it is. I'm giving you your chance, Michael B. Jordan. Don't disappoint me today. Um, my two honorable mentions that I didn't have that I would be upset if you didn't take one of these guys as your sixth is not the fictional character, but the actor, Mike Myers. Can't go wrong with
Mhm.
having a little bit of comedic relief on your team. And
It's a fact.
then
Nothing wrong with some awesome
we
powers.
have a well-rounded guy. He's a Hall of Fame athlete and a TV host in Michael Strahan. Would have been a great pick. He is loved by a lot of people. Not only New York Giants fans. I know you'd have trouble taking him just as he was a Giant,
Yeah,
but the fact that he has made a name for himself on Good Morning America and has stayed relevant and since he's retired, it's just
Kelly and Michael.
it's a
No,
good thing to have on your team.
an extremely lovable guy with a great personality. Hate that he played for the
So it
Giants.
sucks that he's like one of the best defenders that the Giants have ever
Just
thought about having.
hate that he played for the Giants.
So that's our draft for today. I think these are two solid teams. I think they match up pretty well. So it'd be a fun little. You threw me off with Mike Wazowski there. Didn't think that guy was coming in at all. Thought of him as a
Hey,
second rounder for
it's
sure.
that neon green on me right
Yeah,
now. Just
I
had me
guess
thinking.
I
You know.
guess so. I guess so. Um, so next week you'll make the draft. I'll have no idea what it is, and we'll go from there and we'll see what it is. But now,
I'm going to come in with the most ridiculous thing, just so you know.
that's fine. Now on to the best part of the day, our most passionate part, sports.
Not like we've been talking
Yeah,
about it somehow in every other
not like
facet.
it comes into every single thing that we talk about on the podcast, but this is this is live sports, whatever that we want to talk about that's going on currently. I will let you start it off. I have three things. One is what we were both going to talk about with the football playoffs this weekend, but
Yep.
let's save that for last. What do you have besides
Yeah, I
talking
agree.
about
I
playoffs?
agree. What I want to start this off with, because we also have touched on some baseball stuff already, is something that I asked Brandon if he had really seen the thing about this yet. Just saw it either was it last night or this morning. Yankees are being looked at for juicing their baseballs. So the MLB did like some type of analysis on the balls that were being used in games and found that the highest percentage of like dead balls, but these juiced balls that have more like cushion, I guess they have more pop to them, is the thing. And they were being used most oftenly in Yankee games. And so this is not, to my understanding, it is not quite the same as like the Yankees were feeding the balls, and it's not another version of the deflate gate, but it is a big issue as to does it bring up the validity or bring into question the validity of Aaron Judge's 62 home runs. And part of the reason they brought that up specifically was that the Yankee pitcher, who had to be using the same balls, the same batch they were selected, the Yankee pitcher up. Was it their division or was it MLB wide the most home runs this year?
The MLB. They gave it the most home runs in the MLB this year.
Yeah. So it
So
started being like, oh, so more home runs are just being hit around here,
so
and it's
go ahead.
being looked at pretty closely now.
So I will say, over the past 2 years, we just came out of something. I say we as an avid baseball fan, we just got out of the juice ball era. There was a time to where clearly the MLB was providing baseballs that traveled further. They did it. They never came out and said yes, but clearly, when you see how many home runs were hit compared to like say last year or the year before compared to 4 years ago, 4 years ago demolishes. But we just got out of that because there's a lot lower pitcher ERAs coming around now. Juice ball era was an era of you would watch if you go on YouTube and just Google juice ball era home runs. These guys are like barely hacking at the ball. It looks like coming off the bat it's going to be an easy fly ball and it's 30 feet over the fence, right? We just got out of that. MLB tried to do that to get more people to be like baseball is exciting. People that watch baseball, we know it's not exciting, but we like it because we've been passionate about it our whole lives, right? It's exciting to be there. To be at the game is really fun.
Now
Watching
that's
it,
true.
watching it on TV, you're only getting viewers that are diehard baseball fans, and then people that like to watch any sports playoffs. Like me, I watch any sports playoffs. I watch hockey, football, baseball, all of it, basketball, whatever. Are the Yankees juicing balls? Probably, honestly.
Well, this was bringing into question that the Yankees are themselves are not providing the balls,
MLB provides the balls to all games. So,
and it came
so
into question was the MLB feeding the Yankees these
well,
on
the
purpose, on purpose.
probably because so look at it this. Judge passed the single season AL home run record last year. Didn't pass the MLB, which is still held by Barry Bonds. Which he did in the steroid era, which 100% steroid era, greatest era of baseball. Don't care. Let them use
Hey
steroids.
man,
Let
you
them
gotta juice the players or juice the balls, but one of
let
the
the
two.
let the players juice. It's way cooler to see somebody with the biceps of the size of my waist hit a baseball than
Hey,
some skinny dude just barely getting one over the field. Watching Barry Bonds hit balls into McCovey Cove was a staple in my childhood, and it's a staple for everybody that loves baseball. Steroid era, one of the best eras in baseball, hands down. Besides that, was the MLB giving the Yankees juice balls at Yankee Stadium? Yes. I will say that with a fact, knowing absolutely nothing about that, Rick was bringing this up until today. I will say one because when Roger Maris passed Babe Ruth to be the AL all-time home run leader, and at the time current MLB all-time, nobody that was a Yankee fan at that time wanted to see Babe Ruth get passed. It was the '60s. Everybody was still on a high from the whatever all the old boomers of that time of Babe Ruth's era were still alive. Didn't want to see it. Didn't want to see Babe Ruth get passed. People were for the longest time. There's a movie called 61 out at 61 with the asterisk for the longest time in the Hall of Fame. MLB put an asterisk on Roger Maris's home run because he did it in more games because MLB extended the games. There's all kinds of shit about that. So to have somebody that is a Yankee try to pass Maris to where kind of MLB can wash their hands with this whole Roger Maris debacle would, yeah, I can see them feeding baseballs. There's also a cool stat that I'm not going to look up right now, but if you take away all of Aaron Judge's home runs that would have only hit out in Yankee Stadium, he would be nowhere near the home run mark. And what I mean by that is it's a home run in Yankee Stadium, and it is a home run nowhere in any of the other 31 MLB stadiums. Yankee
really?
Stadium,
For
their park
Yankee is
is
definitively the easiest.
the shortest field, is the easiest park to hit home runs in. Besides, I mean, it is the shortest field. I will say that. Maybe not the easiest to hit home runs in, but it is the shortest. So if you take away that, there was a stat I saw that if you take away all of Aaron Judge's home runs that would have only been home runs in Yankee Stadium, he's like 15 off the record. Are they juicing balls? Yeah. Are they trying to be popular again? Sure. Whatever. I don't care. I hate the Yankees. Are they juicing balls? Probably. Have the Yankees always been cheaters? Sure. Whatever. It's just I don't like I don't like Aaron Judge. But like what I really don't like about it is because Yankee Stadium's so short, to watch him hit what he thinks is a home run in another stadium and start his little home run trot around first base, and then it's just a pop fly to right field, might be one of the most beautiful sights in baseball I've ever seen. Because there are a couple videos of when he was playing us, and us I mean the Astros, in Houston, to where he thinks he's hitting a home run to right field, and then homie's catching pop flies on the warning track, and they're just free outs. So as long as Aaron Judge wants to hit juice balls in Yankee Stadium and break records, go for it, because you do that, you're never going to win a World Series. But yeah, I hope they get in trouble. But if they get in trouble because of juice balls, the MLB will also get in trouble, which is not good publicity for baseball.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is I just don't think it'll become a thing because LBs who did it.
Yeah, they're the one that provides all the
Um,
balls. They also provide balls. I mean, for granted, all the teams, but the balls that they provide when they're in Colorado, since they're a mile high up in this there, they go into a humidifier thing to make the balls a little heavier, so they technically travel the same distance as all the other ballparks. Weird. I don't know. That's science. It's not me.
that funny enough though when you talked about it's not super entertaining to watch on TV for everyone. I'm in that group. I don't highlights clips. I'll check scores, but I'm not a big like I can't sit there on the couch and watch 9 innings. Like I just can't do it. um, being said, the only MLB game I've been to in person, oddly entertaining. And do you want to guess which teams I've seen?
You've only been to one.
Only been to one MLB game my whole life. I was about
Yeah,
12 years
I was about to
old,
say. Let me know how old you are.
maybe
12
12 or
years.
13.
So where are you living then?
I can't tell you that. I moved around for those of you that hadn't caught that
Yes.
part. My dad was in the military, so we moved around a lot. But I'll tell you right now, I wasn't living near. We traveled to the stadium, but I
And
still
was
don't
it
want to
was
give
it
you
the
any kind of
Phillies?
hint. Huh?
Was it the Phillies?
Nope.
No, because that's my first guess since you're a big Philly guy. So I'm gonna guess at least it was in Florida. Then I have
Astros Mets.
at Minute Maid. I knew that.
The
I
only
knew you seen
game
an
I've been
Astros
to
game.
is at Brandon's favorite team's home stadium, where
Yes.
they absolutely waxed the Mets.
Oh yeah. If it was when you were 12, we were really good back then too. And
Yeah,
then we went through a
I think y'all
very
were.
then we went through a stint of being very bad, and then we just became good again.
When you
Um,
started cheating. What?
hey, I still wear my
Hold up the cup.
2017 World
Hold up the
Series.
cup for him. Show the audience. Show the slammers what it
My
is.
parents got me this because I've been a huge Astros fan, and I won't say that I've been an Astros fan just because we were good. I've also been an Astros fan since we were astronomically fucking horrible too. I've been an Astros fan since probably I was like 6 because I my favorite baseball player, my second favorite baseball player, who I idolized that played first base, played for the Astros, so therefore I became an Astros fan. So we've won 2 World Series. We've been to 3 since I've been alive. Got absolutely butt raped the first game, or the first World Series I saw. And then, well, we've been to 4 actually. Then we won in 17, cheating, so I don't count that one. I didn't even watch an Astros game the next year. Then we lost again to the Braves, and then we just won. So I'm fine. 2 for 4. Technically 1 for 3. But yeah, it is what it is. It'll be a stain in our side for until we win next year. Anyway. I
So
have
on to your sports news.
so my sports news is fun things are happening this weekend. Started today. This wasn't a fun match today. The fourth round of the FA Cup is happening, which is soccer in England. You should watch it because upsets happen like crazy in this tournament. Don't watch it for the soccer. If you watch it and you're not a soccer fan, watch it. Watch the FA Cup games because big clubs play small clubs play small clubs, big clubs get play against big clubs. It's awesome. It takes I think there are like 180 something, and it might even be 3 something. There is a lot. It's over 100 professional soccer teams in the UK, and they are all allowed to play in this tournament. We are into the fourth round. The fourth round is when all the bigger teams start to play. They get a bye to the fourth round because there are so many small teams. Man United plays somebody I've never heard of. They're going to win tomorrow. Man City, though, played Arsenal. Top 2 teams in the Premier League played today. 1-0 Man City. Arsenal's out in the fourth round. Should never happen to a Premier League club. Wrexham, who has gotten very popular, have made it to the fourth round. They play Sheffield United. Sheffield
Sunday,
United.
right?
Yes, they play Sunday. Sheffield United is a huge club. Been around for a long time. I am 90% positive they play in the championship this season. They were one of the Premier League teams that got relegated last year. Wrexham is a 5th-tier league team. Watch that game because I would not put it past them that they will win this game. Wrexham has been on the rise. More fans, more money. They're bringing in better players. If Wrexham is now 3 points ahead in their division to be promoted to EFL2 next year if they win. If they beat Sheffield United, the amount of fans Wrexham's going to have is absolutely insane.
They are on a hot train
I
right now.
I highly recommend watching if you've never watched soccer before. Watch the FA Cup this round this weekend. There's a couple big games. I would watch the Tottenham game if you're interested in soccer. I would watch the Man U game because they're playing very hot right now. They've lost 1 game out of their past 18 Other than that, they've drawn one and 117. They're playing really well. Wrexham's playing really well. Watch it. It's great. And then, do you have any more besides football?
Yeah.
Okay, go. Go for it.
I have real just quick note because we don't have to settle on it too long because I'll probably make a bigger deal out of it later on in the season. But LeBron James is 157 as of right now. 157 points from Kareem's all-time scoring record. Just want to throw it out there so we're all ready because that's going to come really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Dude that averages over 28 points a game for his entire 20-year long career, 157 points fast.
We'll say he's
um,
already passed him in all-time points, though. If you combine Will or not Wilt's Kareem's regular season and playoffs compared to LeBron's regular season and playoffs, LeBron's technically passed him in all points, but that one doesn't matter. People are making a big deal about it on TikTok. I've already seen it. We want all-time regular season points. That's what we're talking about here.
it's
Just to
regular
clarify.
season. And also to that point, like it's kind of like how you mentioned the 61 asterisks. It's what it is, folks, because also the seasons have gotten longer.
Yeah.
You know,
Season's gotten
um,
longer. There was no Kareem only made one 3-pointer his entire career because it was not a thing for
a
99% of
long,
his career.
yes, correct.
But
Um,
we're gonna witness history.
the game
Pop
evolves, and
next
you
week.
can say that about anyone though, because then why didn't Melo? Why didn't Dwayne Wade? Why didn't Michael? Which well, he didn't play that long. We understand that. Why didn't Kobe? All these other people that did have pretty long careers. Tim Duncan. Why didn't they pass Kareem's
Yeah,
record?
yeah.
Well, they didn't.
Michael, got
And
suspended for gambling for 2 years. Anyway,
yeah, yeah. Shh. League won't admit to that. Uh, but my point is, it's still going to be an amazing piece of history. I just wanted to bring it up on this podcast. We're going to talk about it when it happens.
oh for sure,
Um,
might be a whole
and
LeBron
then,
James podcast, honestly.
I mean, it really could be. I'll come heavy with the stats on that one. And
There,
then one last little piece of basketball is Steph Curry's ejection. So I don't know if you saw this. It's very interesting. Interesting fact that they brought up on Sports Center that I thought was hilarious was that Steph Curry has been ejected out of 3 basketball games in his NBA career.
were they all for throwing his mouthpiece?
3 involve his mouthpiece.
What a,
Yes.
excuse my language, but what a baby.
Okay.
Don't throw your mouthpiece, bro. That's why
I
people.
mean,
Back to my
yes.
point. That's why people love to hate Steph Curry because he damn chews on it. He doesn't even wear it.
Yeah. So, whatever. The fact if you watch the clip, he didn't throw it at anyone. He was actually the furthest down the court getting back to defense. Threw it down court, and the ref that was running on the adjacent closest sideline here was just like, nope, you're not allowed to do that, and threw him out the game. And I
And
think it
and you
was
know what?
absolutely
And you know what?
ridiculous.
You're not allowed to do it.
Great.
Therefore, deserving technical. Goodbye.
Yeah, whatever. My hot
Actually,
take was it was an absolute bullshit ejection.
I could
That
I
was
could
almost my hot take for this season.
I could see it getting a technical, but definitely not an ejection.
One thing I wasn't watching the whole game, and so I don't know if he already had a tech for some reason. Very doubtful on mind. But if he had a tech already, second
Then
tech throws him out. But I don't think he had one. I could go back and check, I guess, the stat sheet. But yeah, it was just ridiculous to me. That should never be an ejection. It
right.
just shouldn't. I mean, I get you can be like, hey, you can give him a warning. You can tell him to go pick it up. But to eject a unanimous league MVP, and I get players shouldn't get special
And it was
treatment.
like at the end of the game too, wasn't it? Like a close ass game.
It was close to the end of the game. It wasn't
Yeah.
like the final drive or anything, or final possession or anything, but it was close to the end of the game. And the Warriors end up winning that game even after Curry gets ejected. It, I think it was ridiculous.
So
Perfect.
I it probably was. I didn't see any of it. And like Rick said earlier, I'm biased against the Golden State Warriors, so anything to make them lose, I 100% agree. And
They
I'm
still
not
won.
I'm not one of those people that just like love to hate Steph Curry because I actually think he's a great player and I love Steph Curry.
Yes.
I just hate Golden State because, like Rick said, they play in the Western Conference and I cheer for somebody in the Western Conference. Um, so my last thing before I get this, before we start talking about football for a couple minutes before we end, tomorrow, and I'm gonna do a soft plug here. I have a Twitch channel called Brando to where I stream video games with actually Rick and a couple of our other buddies. Um, I'm going to try to find a way to go live tomorrow. I'm playing a disc golf match against Dalton, who has been on this podcast. He was our DS Disc representative in episode 2. So if you're really bored, go to my Twitch channel, follow it, and there's like a 85% chance that I'm going to stream that disc golf game tomorrow, and I'm going to beat Dalton. I'm calling it right here, right now. I haven't played disc golf in 2 years. Dalton plays every week. He's really fucking good, and I'm going to beat him. And there's only 2 words I need to beat him, and those 2 words are mind games.
Yes.
I'm going to get inside that man's head like
Truth.
no business.
Yes.
He is going to hit every tree on that course.
It
I'm
actually
also
starts.
playing at one of his home courses, and I'm going to beat him.
We like the mind games are starting right now because we are hoping Dalton is listening to this podcast. Because if he's not, he's a bad friend. He is. The mind games are already started.
We're gonna call that one out there. That's a fact. We're gonna slam the fist. Throwing it out there. The
Oh yeah, no, I'll be tuning in. Just give you a pro tip. So DS Discs do tours. That's what Dalton, his company, he'll go on a little tour, play a bunch of disc golf places. That's why he plays so much. And he came out here to visit me in good old Kentucky, and he absolutely wiped the floor with me because I, like Brandon, had not played in at least 2 years. I had to go find my discs.
I have
And
mine right there in that bag, and that bag has not been used since the first year I moved to San Antonio.
that's what I'm talking about. And he absolutely wiped the floor with me. What I'm gonna say as a pro tip, he by official standard should be shooting from the longer tees, and you should make him, and you get to play from the regular tees.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I'm
That
just gonna
that
throw
will
it out
happen
there.
because
You should 100%
that is
enforce
a
that.
handicap. Guys, I'm like a plus 5,000 in this at bare minimum. You have no idea. If Dalton came down here, and I know that I could beat Dalton at Castle Hayne. One, because of 2 words, mind games, and I know that course. I told Dalton the course that me, him, and my brother-in-law are going to play at tomorrow. He was like, "Oh yes, I'm very familiar. Only 20 minutes from my house." And I was like, "Fuck, sweet." He's going down. There will be an update on our Slam Fist Fact Instagram as well on the
Yes.
scores. I might just go
Yes.
live on that Instagram instead. That might be easier. I'll let you know. He's going down. That's all I have to say. Back to our last thing. Football, playoffs, Sunday, ready to go.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Tune in and watch the Philadelphia Eagles beat up on the 49ers because the Cowboys couldn't.
All right. Right now, Super Bowl prediction. Go. Who's playing who?
Bengals, Eagles win by a field goal.
Eagles win or Bengals win?
Eagles win by a field goal.
I'm going Bengals Eagles as well. I wanna. I was telling my wife this. I don't have a dog in this fight, so I want to see my buddy's team win the Super Bowl. Right? Do I think that the Eagles will win the Super Bowl? No.
Wow,
I
you're
think the
wrong.
Bengals win.
You're wrong.
What I want is I think it's going to be 7 points. Whoever wins, Bengals versus Eagles. I think they win. I think whoever wins by a touchdown.
I think it's field goal, man. I think it is more likely that it comes down to a field goal or less in points,
Mhm.
or let's say that's like 55% of what I think. Like that's how confident I am. Or the next largest chunk of what I think happens is actually a blowout.
Yeah. Where's the Super
Because
Bowl?
the yes,
Arizona,
the Super
right?
Bowl.
No. Where? It's in Arizona, right?
Yes, I think this year it is.
We're gonna go with you.
The only reason there's that like hesitation there that it won't be so close is not anything against the Bengals. I think they're a good team. I really like Joe Burrow. Really impressed with his first years, and I think they're a great underdog team. What I am most impressed by, or what I think is a bigger factor, are the fact when the Eagles get hot, not really been a defense that have slowed us
Mm-mm.
down. Like we've not played well some games. Point being the Colts. Sitting there watching that game live and was
That was
like,
for Frank Reich, though.
we are beating the shit out of ourselves. We could not figure out how to move the ball forward all game. Now, luckily, pull out a win. But then look at the games when our offense is clicking together.
Hmm.
And dude, there hasn't been a defense stop us.
So I think, one, if there's going to be a defense that stops you, it's not the Bengals, it's the 49ers defense. Two, I think that
That arguably could be the best defense we play all year.
I agree. I think it is. I think it is the best defense you've played all year. Statistically, at least. Statistically, I know for a fact it is. But like, statistics only go so far in home games, playoffs, all that shit.
Matchups really are what
Yes.
I think this
See,
is going to be all about.
I don't give two shits about the Chiefs Bengals game. I really wanted to talk to you about the Eagles game because I know you're a huge Eagles fan. I just want the Bengals to win. I think everybody except outside the state of Missouri and the little circle in Texas of Texas Tech where Mahomes went to college want to see the Bengals beat the Chiefs. Everybody does. We do not want to see a Chiefs in another Super Bowl right now, at least. I'd love to see Patrick Mahomes in another Super Bowl. Just go play somewhere else.
And Travis.
Yes. So, two
Travis,
things.
this is a pitch. Travis, I know you have a podcast, New Heights. You should just come play with your big bro in Philly.
Jason Kelsey wins a Super Bowl again. He retires this year. He's done. He's done with football. Is he an all-pro offensive lineman still? 135%. But he retires.
Yes.
Should
That
he?
man is an
No.
absolute
He's a unit.
unit.
He is. He's a big man with a great beard, and he's awesome.
He set a record for over 1,100 snaps consecutively without allowing a quarterback hit.
He's
He
a
is
beast.
a unit of an offensive lineman.
He's a beast. Anybody would be happy to have Jason Kelsey on their team.
I mean,
Um,
like you talk about Joe Thomas, Jason Kelsey. I feel like there's one more that I'm not giving credit properly to right now, but like are like the pinnacles of offensive linemen.
it was the big dude for Dallas. I can't remember his name. He just got into the Hall of Fame a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Um, so I think the Eagles win. I want them to win. I'm cheering
Yeah.
for them. Um,
Me too. Me too.
I think that the 49ers offense could hold a problem to the defense because the 49ers do have a lot of weapons. But I don't think Brock Purdy. I think this is the game that establishes that Brock Purdy is not a starting quarterback yet in the
Let me
NFL.
let me let me tell you what gives me the most confidence. I'm not saying it's locked up. I'm not one of those kinds of fans. But what gives me the most confidence about going into this weekend against the 49ers that Dallas's defense by most measurable metrics is not as good as ours this year.
Okay.
Okay. Dallas held Debo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey collectively to under 110 yards or 115 yards or something
I
like that.
I will break it down further than that, and I agree. Dallas's defense destroyed the 49ers. They did.
And I
Dallas
don't
is
think Dallas has as good of a run defense. I think I think our secondary is better top to bottom
yeah.
than Dallas.
So what I was going to say is about the run, the defense. Your defensive line. Dallas's defensive line destroyed San Francisco's offensive line, and your defensive line is tiers above Dallas's defensive line. Besides Parsons, Parsons is a unit on his own. He's a great player, but your
He's a
defensive
good one player.
your defensive line as a whole is way better than Dallas's defensive line as a whole, and they destroyed San Francisco. I think y'all are going to run over San Francisco.
Yeah.
But maybe their offensive line shows up. The last
Like-
thing, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just about to say that really is the key. We'll see what adjustments the 49ers make. It's not like they're bad coached, you
No,
know,
no, no. They
and
have a great coach.
it's definitely not them being short on talent between Debo and McCaffrey and a young fiery energy from Purdy. I have no problem with that either. Just think, all things considered, ship of our team,
Yeah,
the fact that our defense is better than a defense that just gave them a lot of problems, and that when our offense is good, and I do want to be quoted as saying that, when our offense is good, you roll.
yes,
So I'm excited for this weekend. I'm pretty optimistic, and I'd love to see my Eagles go to another Super Bowl.
100%. It'd be great after years and years of actual torture. Um, Two things I
Yes.
will say for all you NFL conspiracy theorists out there. It will be the Eagles versus the Chiefs because of Andy Reid versus the Eagles, and then also
Ooh,
it would be
don't say
Travis Kelsey versus Jason Kelsey, the first ever brother matchup against each other in the Super Bowl. Be great to see. If the Chiefs win, whatever. I think Eagles come out on top, hopefully, of the whole Super Bowl, but we'll see. I think as weird as this is to say, I think the Eagles have an easier time against the Chiefs than they do the Bengals.
Dude, I agree. And I
Okay.
don't think it's because on paper the Bengals are better. I think it's because the Bengals are the dark horse. I
I
think
agree.
they are that underdog.
They're playing chip on the shoulder. Lost the Super Bowl already to the Rams. Burrow's playing out of his mind. Like,
Yep.
just Joe Burrow won that championship at LSU and has not stopped playing great football since that season. Like,
I mean,
but
yeah,
but
even
this
injuries couldn't
yeah,
set this man back.
but this season he is playing out of his mind. I think the Chiefs, even though on paper the Chiefs look like a huge mismatch against the Eagles, I think the Chiefs are an easier opponent right now if you just take these playoff games in this season against the Eagles than the Bengals are.
Hmm.
But
I mean, I agree. I agree.
we'll find out on
So
Sunday.
I do think it ends up being Eagles Bengals, but I'd genuinely be pleasantly surprised if it ends up Eagles Chiefs. But that's all I got tonight, man.
Same.
It's been a
That's all.
pleasure.
That's all we had. Well, it went a little longer than we usually do. That's completely fine. So, for all you slammers out there and first time listeners, thank you for coming in to Slam Sis Fact, Season 2, Episode 2. Just remember, if you have any fun or interesting facts that you want to see this week's in history, not birthdays anymore, we don't do birthdays, but if you have any hot takes, we're throwing hot takes into the fire now. We're cooking them up. DM us at Instagram. Our handle is at SlamsFistFact, or email us at slamsfistfact@gmail.com. If it's awesome, if it's fun, if it absolutely sucks like the two from our listeners today that came in, we'll put it on the show. Anything you send is going on there. But until then,